What if I told you time might not actually exist? What if everything that's happened, is happening, and will happen has already occurred? Sounds crazy, right? Well, scientists are questioning whether time is real or just an illusion created by our brains. So, get ready to have your mind blown. Because today, we're diving into the mystery of time. We'll explore mind-bending theories that challenge our understanding of this fourth dimension. Let's embark on a journey through the cosmos to uncover the secrets of time. Oh! And don't forget to stick around for the big question at the end. You won't want to miss it. But first, let's start with a bang. Have you ever heard of Einstein's theory of relativity? If you haven't, it's time for a crash course. Einstein proposed that time is relative, meaning it can be different for observers who are in different places. Near massive objects like black holes, time slows down. That's right. Time is not constant. It's affected by gravity. The stronger the gravity, the slower time goes. This means that if you were hanging out near a black hole, you would experience time much more slowly than someone who is far away. But wait! How do we know this is even possible? How do we know time doesn't just flow at a constant rate everywhere in the universe? Well, thanks to some clever experiments, scientists have actually been able to measure these changes in time. In the early 1970s, researchers conducted an experiment using atomic clocks on airplanes to confirm Einstein's predictions. They noticed that time passed slightly slower for the clocks on the planes compared to those on the ground. These tiny differences in time can add up over long periods. And since GPS satellites orbit high above the Earth, they experience time differently than we do on the ground. In fact, because they're farther away from the Earth's gravity, time passes slightly faster for them. To keep things accurate, GPS satellites have to have their clocks corrected regularly to account for this time difference. It's mind-boggling to think that our technology is so advanced that we can measure these changes in time so precisely. But now let's talk about the arrow of time. Why does time seem to pass forward, and why can't we remember the future? We can remember the past, because time has passed from that point to this point, but there hasn't been any time that has passed between this point and the future. Do you understand what I mean? This is called the arrow of time, and scientists have a few ideas about why this happens. One of the leading theories is related to something called entropy. Remember that physics joke that says entropy is nature's way of organizing a messy room? Well, it turns out that entropy plays a bigger role than just our bedrooms. In thermodynamics, entropy is a measure of disorder or randomness in a system. The second law of thermodynamics states that entropy wins every time. This means that over time, things tend to become more disordered and random. Think about a cup of hot coffee left on a table. Eventually, the coffee will cool down and reach the same temperature as the surrounding room. This happens because the molecules in the coffee spread out and mix with the molecules in the air until they reach a state of maximum disorder. This natural tendency towards disorder and the arrow of time are connected because they both point in the same direction. As time moves forward, things become more disordered, and we can only remember the past because that's the direction in which disorder naturally increases. However, there's still a lot that scientists don't understand about the arrow of time. Some physicists argue that time is not really passing in one direction. Instead, the past, present, and future all exist at once in a block universe theory. Basically, they say that all moments in time are equally real and we only perceive a flow of time because of our own limitations. It's like trying to understand the entire movie by watching only a few seconds of it. You wouldn't be able to make sense of the plot or the characters. Similarly, we can only experience time moving forward because we can only perceive the present moment. However, this idea doesn't sit well with everyone. Many physicists disagree with the block universe theory and continue to search for a deeper understanding of the arrow of time. So there you have it, a quick introduction to the perplexing nature of time. Now, here's a question for you. Do you believe time is real or just a human construct? Comment below and let us know your thoughts. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video so far. But now it's time to blow your mind even more with some truly mind-blowing theories. According to quantum mechanics, time is not a fundamental property of nature. It's a variable in the equations that describe how the universe works. Strangely enough, time disappears when we look at the most fundamental equations of quantum mechanics. There is no time in the equations of quantum mechanics. Time is just a coordinate in space-time, like the X, Y, and Z coordinates in your math class. But hold on a minute. If time is just a coordinate, how come we only move forward in time? Shouldn't we be able to move backwards in time, too? Or sideways, for that matter? Well, scientists theorize that this apparent conundrum may have to do with something called entanglement. Entanglement is a spooky action at a distance that links two particles together, even when they're separated by vast distances. In fact, entanglement is one of the key features of quantum mechanics that makes it so weird and counterintuitive. When two particles are entangled, they become correlated in such a way that the state of one particle cannot be described independently of the other. If you measure the state of one entangled particle, you instantly know the state of the other, no matter how far away it is. This correlation is stronger than any classical correlation you can get by just knowing the probabilities of different outcomes. It's like having two coins that always land on the same side, heads or tails, no matter how far apart you flip them. But with entanglement, it's even weirder. The coins don't just land on the same side, they're actually in two different states at the same time. That's why entanglement is often referred to as a spooky action at a distance. Scientists speculate that the link between entangled particles could be responsible for creating the flow of time. If that's true, it would be a pretty mind-blowing realization. It means that time would emerge from the correlations between particles rather than being a fundamental property of the universe. This also raises some interesting questions about the nature of reality. If the flow of time is created by entanglement, what else do we perceive that may not actually be real? Our minds are constantly bombarded with sensory information, and we rely on our brains to interpret this information and create a coherent picture of the world around us. But what if our perception of reality is also a construct of our minds? What if the world we experience is not objective but subjective, shaped by our own thoughts and beliefs? This idea is explored in various philosophical and spiritual traditions that emphasize the importance of mindfulness and the power of the human mind. By cultivating mindfulness, we can become more aware of our thoughts and emotions, and how they influence our perception of reality. This can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and a more peaceful and fulfilling life. So, there you have it. Time might just be an illusion, a figment of our imagination. But if that's true, then what does it mean for us? Does it mean that nothing matters? That our lives are just a meaningless blip in an eternal now? Or does it mean that we have the power to create our own reality through our thoughts and beliefs? It's up to you to decide. And now, we're going to leave you with one final twist. If time is an illusion, then maybe your future self already exists somewhere in the universe. A version of you that has already experienced everything that is yet to come. Maybe your decisions have already been made. Your relationships already formed. It's a strange and unsettling thought, but it also raises some fascinating possibilities. What if you could communicate with this future self? What if you could send messages back in time to warn yourself of future mistakes? Or share the wisdom of your future experiences? Or what if you could simply observe this future version of yourself, gaining insight into the path your life will take? It's a tantalizing prospect that has captured the imaginations of science fiction writers for decades. Who knows? Maybe one day it will become a reality. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed this mind-bending journey through the mysteries of time. But before you go, we have a question for you. What do you think? Is time real or just an illusion? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more cosmic mysteries. That will blow your mind. Thanks for joining us on this thought-provoking adventure. Until next time, keep thinking big and keep reaching for the stars.